Hello, welcome back and welcome to the lecture. In this lecture we are going to design this image, and we are also going to align this item in a center position in a cross axis. So as you can see, we have given the image here and we have given the round border as we have given here. So we will add the border radius for this, and we will add flex align item property to align this item in a cross axis. So let's open up the CSS file. Let's scroll down to the name div, and here you can see this is the name div which is here, and for the image we will say width of 30 pixels and height of 30 pixels and border radius of 50 pixels. It will round the corner, and when we save the file and when we refresh the page, we will see it moves a little bit, but we don't have an image. So let's add an image inside the images folder. So we are going to open the Facebook project. Inside the images, we are going to paste an image. So paste what image you want. I have pasted my image, and you can paste yours. I have already given the name which I have given inside the image tag. So let's refresh the page. You can see my image is larger than width and height. The width and height property is not affecting the image. Why? Because we need to say here width of 100% and height of 30 pixels. So when we refresh the page, you will see is given the width according to its parent element, and it's also give the height which we have given to the image here. But we need to add a border radius. For giving a border radius, we will say don't overflow the image. You can see the image is not getting the border radius because it is overflowed, and to use border radius property we are going to use another property which is overflow. We'll say overflow and we will make our flow hidden. So we don't want our image to overflow from the name image div. So we will say whatever element inside the name image, if it's overflow from the name image given width and height, you should hide the element. So in our case our element is image, so it's going to hide the extra which is the corner. It will round the corner according to the border radius property. So save the file, and when we refresh the file you can see given the border radius. So let's align this name in a center position. So if we go to the index.html file, and if you scroll down to the name image which is in the right menu, you can see here is a name div and here is a name wrap, and when we view in a mode, you can see here is a name text. So we will add a flex property to make our name text a flex container. So we'll say flex, and it will add a display flex property, and this will be the flex container, and the text will be the flex item. So we'll say align item in a center position. So when we save the file, it will center the text, and let's give a margin. So we'll add a margin. So we'll say margin of top and bottom is 0 pixels and right and left 4 pixels. So when we save the file and when we refresh it, you will see that is given the margin from the left and from the right as well. So as you can see, the font is different from the font which I have given here. The font I'm using is Helvetica, which is Facebook used, and let's add the font family to use this font. Inside the universal selector, we will add font family property. We'll say font family, and here we will add a Helvetica, and this will be the font which we use. If the browser doesn't have that font, we will use another font, because we have given the comma here, and we will say if a browser doesn't have this font, use a different font. So the next choice is sans serif, and we will add another comma, and we will say if that sans serif is also not supported by the browser, use Arial. So we'll say Arial, and so that's enough. We will end here. We'll give some space here, and let's add a Microsoft font which is Segio. I don't know how you pronounce it, but I think it's Sego. It says Sego, and it is a UI, Sego UI, and it is historic. And if this doesn't work as well, use another font which is Sego UI. Add a comma, and I think that's enough. When we refresh the browser, you will see it's changed the font. Now let's bold the font. So as you can see, we have bolded the font here, and for bolding the font we will use font weight property. So let's scroll down to the right div. Inside the right div, scroll down to name text here, and we will say font weight, and we will say 600. Save the file. It will bold the font. As you can see, given the font weight of 600. We can simply say bold. It will bold the font. So that will do the job as well. If you use 600, it will work as well, but you can use a value of bold as well. So I think that's it for now, and in the next lecture we will talk about pseudo-classes. Add this effect. When we hover over the element, you can see it's changed the background when we hover to the element, and it's also, you can see it also give a little bit of transition. We have used a pseudo class which is affecting by the mouse state of hover. So we are going to make this by a pseudo class of hover, and we will also learn about the transition. So that's it for now, and see you in the next lecture.